Style is your personal calling card. It's the visual representation of your character. It's birthed out of all the elements of your life. I'm so excited to sit and chat with my guest today. Let's get into it. I'm Woo, and this is Stylentea. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Stylentea. I am here with an awesome guest today. I don't even want to give too much, but I'm supposed to. I'm supposed to introduce my guest, but I'm going to let her introduce herself because she's awesome. And we're going to get into all these amazing things about her. Go on and introduce yourself.
Oh, it'll be short and sweet. My name is Sherese Renee. I'm leaving the last name blank because it could become something else. I don't know.
Ooh,
And
yes.
I am becoming.
Ooh, yes. See, I told you she was amazing. So this interview, you guys already know, we talk about style, we talk about your life, and we talk about how all of these things intersect. So, welcome to Stylentea.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited about this.
I'm super excited about this too. Like, you have an amazing blog.
Thank you.
I hope a lot of women read it. I'm pretty sure some men should read it as well, but right now I'm focused on the women.
Okay.
Whether they're within our age demographic or older, I think that they will get a kick out of your honesty and your realness.
It's pretty raw.
She's a little raw, but it makes sense. Divorce is not something that we should skirt, and we should be a little bit more prouder to share our stories.
Yeah.
So before we get into that, where are you from?
Oh, DC, born and raised. Like,
Ugh.
actually born and
Yes.
actually raised.
Okay, so
In DC, Howard University Hospital.
Oh, okay. Yes, you're actually born.
Actually.
Yes.
And
okay,
raised
so weird.
uptown.
Yeah.
Before it was
Yes.
called Petworth.
Oh,
It
yes.
was Uptown.
Okay, yes.
Yes.
Okay, because I want people to know that you have to specify old DC versus new
Yes.
DC.
Uptown, like true uptown, like where there used to be crackheads and now there are people walking dogs.
Oh, yes. Well,
Yeah.
that could be everywhere. Right?
It could, well, I was about to say it could be
Even-
right outside this window, but
Even Anacostia.
oh,
But,
yeah.
I'm excited that you're here. That means that you're going to give me some good flavor. Petworth area was dope.
Yes,
So, yes.
yes.
Mm-hmm. So, who were your style influences growing up?
Oh, my grandmother was probably the first one.
Ooh.
So she was super duper sassy. So
Okay.
she did not leave the house unkept.
Yeah.
So if she was just walking around the corner
Mm-hmm.
to take the trash out back in the alley, sis had on lipstick. She had her
Really?
hair. Listen, Josie was not walking out the house.
Yes. Well, first of
Not
all, her
pulled together.
name was
Oh,
Chi-
Josephino, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, get into that.
That's a lady.
Josephino,
That
that's
is a
it.
lady.
And she didn't play, so she left the house just like that. So I picked that up from her. So
Okay.
it's rare that you see me out in the streets, like,
Right.
yeah.
I can't imagine that you have one of those days anyway.
I have them, but I don't have them.
When?
Like, I have them,
When?
but I usually have on, like, 10 too many pieces of jewelry. Like,
That means
I
that
feel like more
people,
is...
that doesn't mean that she has any of those days. She's
I feel like more is
dressed.
less. Sometimes I feel like more is less instead of less is more.
I agree. Although I say more is more, and why not? Because why not? I don't have on bracelets because earlier I felt like I was the key person.
Yeah.
I was walking down the hallway and all you heard was so I took them off because people are annoyed.
So Josie was my first, and then Marion Barry's wife, Effie Barry. Oh, honey, she was pulled together with those. She had those suits.
Yes, sharp.
She did
Damn
not,
sharp.
and I literally
No.
remember her coming to my elementary
She do
school.
some hats.
She gave us
Yes.
what we wanted.
Yes.
And she
Before
came
I
to
knew.
my school, and I did an
Ooh.
essay contest, West Extended Elementary School.
Yes.
And I won an essay contest
Mm-hmm.
called A Special City Needs Special People.
Ooh.
And she came to present our certificates or whatever. And I just remember looking at her like, she's beautiful. She's so...
She was.
in elementary school. So she was probably my other style influence.
Yes. I love that.
And then I would say a different world kind of, but then I was older.
Okay. So what character on A Different World did you most identify with?
Oh, I was giving you so I'm a Whitley Gilbert.
Okay.
But I can be Lena James in a pinch. Okay, if you push me and you know what I'm saying, I can be Lena James.
Okay.
I'm not Kimberly Reese.
What was Kimberly Reese giving?
You say what was she giving? She was giving I feel like she was muted. She was a little.
She was, so she wasn't giving anything.
She wasn't.
We loved Kimberly Rice. We loved Kimberly.
Yeah,
Rice. Just because she was smart, but no.
I like Whitley Gilbert Wayne.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yes,
Okay,
when she evolved after Julian.
Yep. Julian.
I've been watching it on Amazon Prime, so it's very fresh. Right. It's very fresh.
I love it. Don't forget to watch A Different World on Amazon Prime. They're not paying me, but you have to watch it.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
Okay, so your style influences were very mature growing up.
Which is why I'm my auntie.
Not which is why you're auntie. But what was your style in high school?
So high school I think was a good time for me. So I was a little fun fact, a little DC fact.
Okay.
So in high school I was on Teen Summit. Do you remember Teen Summit?
Yes.
So during that time, I was very involved in the church.
Okay.
And I was my style reflected that.
Okay. Wait a minute.
I was fully covered from
yes. You have the long skirt.
If you go to YouTube, you can see. But I will say this. So high school was when I first accepted the fact that I was super tall.
Okay.
And I literally met a best friend the first day of 10th grade who was 1 inch taller than me, which was something I had never seen before. I'm like, wait, we're both tall? So I'm 6'1". Today I'm probably 6'5", 6'6", because I got these heels on.
They're tall people.
But
it's not fair. But go ahead.
That was when the Gap first started selling extended length jeans. Okay. So I had on some jeans, honey. I had on some jeans that came all the way down, and she pulled me aside like, "Where'd you get those jeans from?" And that's how we became best friends.
Yeah.
So that's when I first started to accept the fact that I was tall, and that wasn't a curse; it was a gift.
Oh, wait. You thought that this was a curse?
Oh, absolutely.
Why?
Because I was awkward. I was different. I was the same size as the boys. Retailers weren't hip yet, so shoes, I had to wear old lady shoes, and I had to wear... So I wasn't... Yeah, I would go to Hex, and they wouldn't have my size.
Meanwhile,
and
in my head, I'm your height.
I would go, and they wouldn't have my size, so I had to improvise. So I think that's probably when my style turned a corner a little bit, because I would have to buy men's tennis shoes, and I would have to make those look feminine, and I would have to figure out how I was going to stand out, even though I had already stood out. But
stand out more.
Yeah.
Well, your personality now, is it the same? Well, was it the same?
I've always been goofy.
Okay.
So goofy was always there. Josie, in addition to showing me how to be a lady in the streets, she was very sassy.
Okay.
So I think I have a lot of her sass right now.
I can see that.
So I'll say
I don't even know
anything.
Yes.
But yeah.
I'm scared.
So being tall was a thing that I had to figure out.
Okay.
But once I graduated high school and went to college, I figured out, okay, this is not so bad.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, there's some basketball players taller than me.
Ooh. So in college, how was your style?
I was straight DC girl at first.
Okay.
So Parasuco, stretch jeans, Versace. My boyfriend bought me some Versace stretch jeans. Yes. Shout out to my first love.
Hey.
So yes, And I had so I would do that. I would do what else did I do? I was just, I don't know, I was figuring it out a little bit. So I was still probably a little too mature. So blazers and slacks and I was definitely doing that.
I feel you.
Yeah. I think that my style fully turned the corner when I moved to Philly.
Oh, yes. When was that?
So I spent 2 or 3 years in Philly. So my best friend from high school went to Temple. My best friend at Georgetown was from Philly. So I found myself in Philly constantly. Yes. So that was when the music scene in Philly was really popping. So that's when you could go to the 5 Spot on a Tuesday night and see Bilal or Floetry or Jasmine Sullivan or Music Soul Child, Jill Scott, like anybody on a random Tuesday night. It was the best.
I miss that.
It was the best. So I think Philly helped me figure out that I could have my own kind of flair.
Okay.
Twist.
What do you think that you incorporate from DC and Philly now?
I probably started getting into the t-shirt thing in Philly.
Okay.
So Philly, the word in Philly is Jawn.
Yes.
Jawn.
Jawn.
And I remember someone started a line of t-shirts that was whatever Jawn. So it would be tall Jawn, thick Jawn, short Jawn, cute Jawn. Like, and I thought those shirts were so cute. So I remember having that, and then somebody would cut the top of it off, and then, you know.
Okay.
And I'm very into t-shirts. Like right now. I only don't have one on today because I couldn't find my favorite one. Because I will wear a t-shirt and a blazer every day.
That's quick.
It's easy.
That's quick. Would you consider that your uniform?
Yep.
Oh, yay.
T-shirts and blazers.
I love t-shirts.
My summer uniform I think is going to be I'm feeling like booty shorts, like denim shorts.
Me too.
I'm feeling that.
Okay.
With t-shirts, basic white beaters. It's going to be all about the accessories this summer.
I look forward to seeing you with
dope tennis shoes. Full. Yeah, I'll put bracelets on. I'm actually kind of chill today with my.
It's a little minimal, but I can see you doing some extras.
I'm excited. Honey, she'll be like a tambourine. Like the bracelets will come up here.
Yes. Shake it, shake it, shake it. I can't wait. I hope you guys follow her at the end of this so that we too can watch the fashion evolution.
Yes.
Okay. When did you get married?
I got married in 2006.
Okay.
I got married on the heels of losing my mom. Okay. So that was, I did 2 major life events in 1 year. Okay.
Okay, so I knew that this was going to be a great interview because of this portion, as well as your infectious just personality.
Yes,
so
thank you.
Too got married in 2006 on the heels of my father's passing.
Shut up.
So it's just weird.
Wow.
Anyway, this thing works. This works. So how did you? Because I think one of the things that we as women don't pay attention to, we don't pay attention to the fact that we kind of get lost in ourselves in these relationships, especially after these life-changing events. So how did your style change, like going through this grief process and then going into this marriage?
So I definitely kind of made a decision that I would be a wife. So it was like a lifestyle. So, you weren't going to see any of my business on the streets because that was just for him.
Right.
I felt the same way. Right before I got married, like most brides, I lost weight. So I was feeling comfortable in that way.
Okay.
I would say I started to take more risks, but I didn't really get into my being comfortable in my own skin and feeling sexy and all that stuff until after I had my daughter.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's when that happened. It's funny because I was just talking to a good girlfriend who remained unnamed.
Okay.
About that earlier this week.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's when I kind of became comfortable with what my style was going to be.
Okay. Yeah. And what did that evolve into during that time?
So I did the big chop, cut my hair off moment.
Yes. Okay.
Right after I had my daughter. So I had braces. I had adult braces when I was pregnant. So yeah, I had some
baby.
challenges.
Yeah.
But they've made me who I am today. But so yeah, I had the adult braces. So I had locks. My ex-husband and I actually kind of started our locks at the same time.
Okay.
So I had the locks and my hair grew while I was pregnant, and then I just didn't feel like the maintenance of it.
Yeah.
I had cut my hair before, so this is my third time with the no hair.
Okay.
And I believe the decision is final.
Yes,
like 3 strikes, I'm in.
Yes, it looks good for you.
3 strikes, I'm in, because this is it. I mean, I go to the barbershop.
Yeah.
Okay. I color it.
Mm-hmm.
It lasts for about 7 to 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
And I do it all over again.
Right.
Can I curse?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Because I've been trying not to.
No, you're fine.
Okay, good. Because I was about to say, now, did I do the shit all over again? Okay.
Then she does
yes.
shit all over.
Okay. I didn't go over that with you ahead of time, so I didn't know what I should be saying.
Be yourself. So you color yourself? You color your hair yourself?
I do.
Ooh.
I do. And no hairstylist should even know what I do to them, because they would be like,
you are bold. Because I sit in the hair salon and be like, I cannot do that. It look easy, but no.
I had to figure it out. It was trial and error, though.
Okay.
So my hair has been orange, and it has been the wrong color, the wrong texture. It has fallen out in the bowl. So I've had to figure it out. But I always be like, it's just hair. It'll grow back.
True. It will.
That's what I say about it. But yes, I have my formula down pat now.
Okay.
I put the number 10 base, or whatever you call it, you know the word. Put this stuff in it, and I mix it up. She's gonna gather me. So I do all of that.
She not watching.
Because my thinking was, because that's not my profession, I was like, oh, if I get the 40, then it'll turn blonde, real blonde, real quick. Like, so I had this whole, no, honey, she was looking like Heathcliff, Garfield. It was bad. It was really, really bad. So I figured out that I needed a 10.
Okay.
And I just leave it in longer.
Okay.
So I put the 10, and then I put, this is so funny, then I put aluminum foil, because that is like me sitting under the dryer. So I put the foil on it, and I look like a Jiffy Pop.
Wait a minute.
And I just leave it on.
We have to stop, because Tania will be cold. Tania will call, and then we both will be in trouble, because she will be like, don't you?
Honey! And everybody knows, like, no, I'm not getting on FaceTime. I'm coloring my hair right now. And my daughter knows, you coloring your hair. That's why you look like, that's why you doing Jiffy Pop. Yeah. And then I take it off and I wash it out. Yeah.
I love it.
I just started putting leave-in conditioner in it, because, honey, I would just leave it
wait a minute.
raw and uncut. Little blonde hairs all over the... So it's good now.
Tania's gonna get you.
I
feel like she is watching.
I know she is. And
Everybody knows
and
Tania.
She should.
She's a friend of a show.
And then a friend of the show.
She's a friend of the show.
She's the reason I'm here, actually, because I was at her party.
And then we met. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Tania.
I'm sorry. I feel like I took you off your.
It's okay.
Going down
that was
good.
And
I went somewhere else.
No, you're fine. Cause this is good. This is all a part of your style. Okay, so that's good. You're coloring. You shouldn't.
But I'm very big on. I like a signature. I like signature things. So for me, I'm the tall blonde with red lips. Like, so you're probably always going to see me like this.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll deviate a little bit, but
style is your calling card. So I'm not really sure. Well, people are going to be like the short girl with no hair and a different color every couple of weeks, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. Hopefully they'll say something else later. I don't know.
I love a signature thing, and I love I feel like I'm like a girl Karl Lagerfeld now. Yes. So I don't look like that today, but I'm very much like black and white.
Okay. Just
constantly.
Very signature,
very
classic pieces. I like that. I mean, Karl. We should aspire a little bit to be like Karl. He had a uniform. We knew he wasn't going to deviate. And if he did, we never saw it.
But he would a little bit. So he would have the black and white, but like a badass brooch or something on. Like, I love that.
But that still was black and white. He had a color palette. I think I've seen him in jeans once my entire life, and it was in a picture.
Yeah.
Like from the 80s.
Yeah.
So
that a paparazzi took.
Right.
Like, he wasn't
and he was looking like like that's it. So yes. I am here for signature looks. I think that is awesome. I think that signifies who you are, and it helps people identify a little bit better. You have a blog. Mm-hmm. It's called I Now Pronounce You Divorce.
Yes, pause. Thank you for putting the pause in there.
Yes, because I like it so much. In your entry for January, actually, I found out all this information. You talked about this 5-year separation. Okay, since I too was separated for way too long. During that time, you know, like there's, of course, everybody knows there's an ebb and flow in relationships, even within ourselves. In your post, you talked about like you had lost weight and you were getting back into yourself by the time your ex-husband filed for divorce. Mm-hmm. So what was your thoughts about your look and in retrospect about yourself during that time?
So I felt like I had to put forth a lot of effort to do this like rebirth of Reese. Okay. So I remember even on one of my birthdays when we first split up, my birthday cake, I wrote the year of Reese on it. And I was really trying to prove this point that I can be fine. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll be fine. Mm-hmm. Like, so what you will not do is be sewing on, and I'm over here looking like a fool. Right. So I was all about that. Okay. So initially I was sulking and I was sad and I was, how could this be? And I didn't like, where did this come from? So I was definitely doing all that first. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, first, you are Josephine's granddaughter. Yes. And Melanie's daughter. Okay, and Melanie's mother.
Wait.
And my daughter.
My mother's name is Melody.
Shut up! This is too much.
This is a lot.
This is a lot. And you know everyone says Melody instead of Melanie anyway. So even my daughter, she's like, why is everyone calling me
And people
Melody?
Call my mother, they be like Melanie. And I be like, that's not
They always mix it up. Okay. So yes.
You're my sister.
So she, so I just kind of had a, I don't know if it was an aha moment. I don't know if I want to qualify it as that, but I definitely was like, okay, you got to pull this together. Okay. And so I just decided that I was going to go. I think at that point I was working out to lose weight. So it wasn't that I was on this crazy diet or whatever, but I was working out like crazy. Okay. And I lost a bunch of weight.
Were you working out as a form of, like, to release your anger? Or was that just something for yourself?
It was just something that I felt like I had to do to get the weight off. Like, so it had no, like, deeper.
Okay. I think there's a meaning to everything.
It probably is, but I literally was like, okay, how can I get this weight off the fastest? Okay. So, I was in this like boxing style workout at that point, but then it became a really great habit. So then I became addicted to it almost. Okay. So it was like I knew I was going to be working out with Floyd every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Hey, Floyd.
Yeah, shout out to Floyd. He's the bomb. And I would say to Floyd, like, well, can I sneak in an extra day? Like, can I stay a little bit longer? So I started doing stuff like that, and then you could see it. So I felt like I was having my Jennifer Hudson moment, like. What? Yeah. Look at me. Yeah, I don't like living under your spotlight.
Yes.
So, hello, spotlight's on me now.
Lyrics.
Yes. So yeah, I started to come down, and I have like a gift and a curse where I gain weight really quickly, but I lose weight really quickly. So once I decide I'm going to turn it on, you'll look up at me in a month and be like, lost weight.
To tell me those Jedi mind tricks.
No, because like I said, it's a curse also, because I'll look up and be like, did I gain 20
But
pounds?
That's okay. Like, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. If I can learn the secrets to losing, I would gladly eat all the chocolate cake to lose real fast. I need those secrets.
Okay. I don't know what they are, but you might have to talk to Josie and Melanie about that.
We're gonna have to talk to them. I need all the numbers.
Yes.
Okay, so you got into real estate.
Yes. So real estate was so I was working at Georgetown University, and I was living in Waldorf, Maryland, which for those of you who are not geographically familiar is far as shit. So
you need like a plane. You need your passport.
You need to check in 2 hours ahead of time.
And you're staying with your friends.
Only one carry-on.
Yes,
just
only one.
And you gotta check the rest of your luggage. So I was doing that commute, and it was horrible.
Yes.
So
I can imagine.
Yeah. So my mom was in real estate. And then my ex-husband and I purchased our first home, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe I can do the real estate thing. So I took the class. I passed everything successfully, and we had a talk, and I'm like, I really want to go all in because I was working at this job, and it was with the MBA Career Management Office. So the people who were in the program were basically my peers. So I was seeing their job offers come in, and they were getting $30,000 signing bonuses and this and that. And we're the same age, and I'm like, okay, so I know how much was directly deposited into my Bank of America account. Your signing bonus is looking like my yearly salary. Something's not adding up. Right. So I was like, let me do this real estate thing and see what happens with that. Okay. And so we agreed that if it didn't turn within a year, I would go back to a traditional job. And I've been doing it for 12 years.
Yes. So what, I had a real estate agent on the show maybe like 2 episodes ago, and she has like a little uniform. It's a little uniform. She does, but she makes sure she wears blazers.
Okay.
That's her uniform. Like, okay. She's just a blazer person. In general, like she dresses a little wild. I love her though. So are you keeping your uniform as you're showing homes or things like that? Like, are you doing your blazers, your tees? Which are like, I'm a boss on it. Okay.
Yeah. I'll show up with I'll wear a t-shirt I'll get someone to make me a t-shirt that just says realtor or something, but it'll be in cursive. It'll be black and white.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I'm always true to it. Okay. And I'm always upfront with my clients. So I'll say like, I can show it to you at 10 a.m., but I'll be coming from the gym. Or I'll say, but I'll make sure that day at the gym, I'm pulled together.
I'm flat. So, she's not getting that workout with Floyd for real.
I will. But no, I always want to be me. So I don't ever want to feel suffocated. So I always want to I always want to be me.
I like that. You should.
My style.
You should. If you could describe your style, what 3 words would you use?
Oh. I feel like this is the part where people always say, well, that's a good question, which means they're thinking about what they're going to say. Okay, so that's a good question. Yes. I would say I am resilient. So that goes back to just kind of what I have survived. So I'll say that. I will say courageous because I'm a risk taker.
Okay.
So I do stuff a little unconventionally.
Okay.
But it always comes back together and works itself out. And what's the other one? I'm goofy. I'm super goofy. I don't know if I want to use one of my words as goofy. I guess I did, but I am. So I always like to find the fun in everything. So I'll stick with goofy. I'll stand with that. Okay. Because I always like to find the humor in things. So even in the darkest hours of my life, and 2 of those darkest hours were the loss of my mom and the loss of my marriage. Okay. There was always something to laugh about. I'm talking about even at my mother's funeral.
Really?
Like, there has always been something that I will just have a belly laugh about.
Wow.
So
that's good.
Yeah.
That's
so
a
maybe
blessing.
funny instead of goofy. I don't know. But humor is a big thing.
We can use them interchangeably because I think they both matter to you.
They do.
So that's good.
They do.
How did you deal with your grief?
I just started dealing with it.
Really?
So, I just started dealing with it. So, 2006 was when I lost my mom. 2011 is when I lost my marriage. 11 or 12, probably, maybe 12. 12.
Okay.
So, I literally just started with therapy. So, I've always had a very great relationship with God. So, prayer and all of that has brought me through everything.
Okay.
But then I incorporated the therapy with that as well. And today is actually the beginning of Mental Health Awareness Month. So
it is.
There's a PSA for that.
Yes, it is.
But I ran away from it. So people definitely were like, oh, maybe you should go to therapy. Maybe you should, like, right when I lost my mom, people were encouraging me to do that. And I'm like, I'm good. Don't you see I just got married? I'm fine. I'm totally fine. I just had a baby. I'm fine.
Yeah.
So I kept doing that. And then I literally, in 2018, I felt like I started regressing in my grief. So I just started dwelling on stuff. And I would literally, like, see a Mother's Day card or just anything would put me in a sad space. And I would be like, oh my God. Wow. So I felt like after 12 whole years, I went backwards.
Okay.
And so Tania, who we've shouted out before, was, really telling me about her experience and how therapy was so helpful for her. And I can share that because she has shared that publicly. So I'm like, well, give me her number. Give me your therapist's number. Gosh, like, just keep talking about her. Like, whatever. So, like, give me her number. And I had it, and I never used it. And I literally one day, the GPS, I was driving in the city, and the GPS redirected me because of traffic right by the cemetery where my mother is buried. And I drove in there, and I literally lost it as if the doctor had just told me.
Wow.
12 years later, I'm like, okay, you have to do something about this. And literally at the cemetery, I sent a text to who is my therapist now, and I'm like, do you have any openings? I was referred by, I've got to see you.
That's awesome.
So that was just last September when I reached out to her.
And you're enjoying it so far.
Yes. Good. She gathers me. She does not play with me. Okay?
I've heard.
Yeah.
I'm still on the fence not about therapy, about just going. It's one of those things where it's like, this is gonna get deep, and do I really want to get deep?
Literally, my
I'm not ready.
This time right or my first episode of therapy, she literally said, "Why did you come through this door? Like, why are you here?" And I told her that same cemetery story. And she literally made me write a letter to my mother for my assignment to come back the next week. And I was like, wait, what? And she's like, tell her everything you wanted to know, catch her up, like, do whatever you have to do in this letter. And I did it. And she made me read it when I came back. And it was fantastic. So I have had tremendous breakthroughs since I've been doing it. There's a million more breakthroughs to come, I know, because I'm still working. Yeah, so
but you have a craft to service.
Yeah. So I'm just like, kind of, the conversation just kind of evolves the way our conversation is evolving. So she'll just kind of hear something and then it'll keep going. So I recommend it for every single person. It's amazing. You will. It's good. Maybe we could do a role play. I can pretend like I'm.
You could, because that would be fun.
Because I just saw that episode of A Different World when Whitley was relax. 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 All right. Relax. That's what she. I literally just watched that one the other night.
I need to watch that because I recite that
so funny.
all the time.
Honey, Julian came back in town and she was mad because he had a fiance.
I'm not even going to do that. Wait a minute. I love you.
Goofy. See that word coming back.
Okay, so I like to ask people a couple of questions before we round out.
Okay.
So the first question I really want to know is, if there was a soundtrack to your life, who would be featured? Just give me three.
Three artists? Oh, okay. Okay, so it's going to be kind of, so D'Angelo is definitely a part of that soundtrack because he takes me somewhere when I listen to him.
The very first song I thought of was How Does It Feel? So go ahead.
Yeah. And I want to know, like, how does it feel? So D'Angelo is definitely a part of that soundtrack. I have to have some churchy moments on it. So that's probably like a Marvin Sapp moment. Yeah, and Beyonce.
Okay, yes.
And I'm not saying that because Homecoming, just like I've been on.
She's a proud member of the Beehive.
I definitely am. But she gives me so much life because literally, I mean, I watched Homecoming a couple of weeks ago and I was like, you need to get your shit together. What are you doing? And literally on there, she said, like, if my country ass can do this, you can too. And I was like, you're damn right. Mm-hmm. And I felt that.
I too felt that.
I'm so serious.
I was sleeping on it, but
yeah.
I watched it again.
So Beyonce, yeah, Marvin, and D'Angelo. I could throw in Jill as a honorable mention.
Okay.
We're birthday.
That's about. Ooh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Okay. We gonna talk about that
offline.
No, that's a good, mix. Plus,
because I want to kind of be in a. Yeah, I want to kind of be in a zone.
Yes, and you should. It's your life.
D'Angelo takes me there.
Hey, D'Angelo.
Had some good moments.
Yes. I'm scared.
Wish you would have said 5.
Well, go ahead. Give me some more.
I know I'm being greedy now.
Come on.
No, Prince. I love Prince.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You have a vibe. I need to do a playlist. I will. Figure that out.
I'll share some with you.
Okay. Yeah.
On your iPhone, not the other phone.
Okay, that's fine. Don't do it on my phone. Not on that phone. Okay, what would you tell anybody, a younger cousin, a niece, a friend's daughter who is trying to build their wardrobe up? What would you give them to help them build that? Like a staple piece or something that they absolutely have to have?
A girl's gotta have a good pair of jeans, of course, because you can throw those on with anything. Mm-hmm. And when you have those jeans, you can go from day to night. You can go, you can have some dope Air Max on and then throw your stilettos on, and you will have been at wherever. Like, you could be at, well, not the Black Hole, that doesn't exist anymore, but you could be, you can go from day to evening.
Yes.
So yes, jeans, and I'm a big accessories girl, so I feel like you can have a canvas, you can have on just jeans and a white beater, but if you have on some dope earrings or bracelets, shoes, purse, like, so accessories is kind of my thing.
Okay, I like that.
Accessorize.
Now, here's the last question. How would you style me?
No! I don't like that question because I like what you have.
Come on.
So I'm all about, so I'll wear some random stuff to the craziest place. So like, I'll literally go to my little watering hole around my way. It's called Sunnybrook. I'll go into Sunnybrook with a gown on.
Yes.
At 2 p.m. on a Tuesday.
Okay.
A whole gown.
I'm here for it.
I'll also go to church with my Jordans on. Like,
that's fine.
And leggings.
I'm with you. Because they said, come as you are.
Am I here? Yes.
Hallelujah.
Throw a cloth on me or something.
Or not. Let me praise the Lord. As long as
So
my
what
leggings
would I like
aren't
to see you in?
see-through.
I would like to see you. What would I like to see you in? Oh, tag. I don't know because I love the mixed prints. Like that's one of my favorite things to do. Denim shorts. I told you that's part of my uniform. I guess I would only style you with more
Accoutrements.
Yeah, with your tambourine up
Yes.
your arm.
I
Or
can
something
do that.
like that.
I can do that.
Because you already know I'm feeling the hair moment.
Because
Bold lip. Yeah, like
literally.
I wouldn't do anything else to you.
Oh, thank you.
Maybe a bold color on your nail.
Yes, I do need a color.
Do you keep them like that?
I just started
You
letting
have beautiful
them grow.
natural nails.
Thank you. I just started letting them grow. So
Okay.
we'll see. I don't know.
We'll see.
I might do them like Kia. Kia has the claws. She has the claws.
My joint?
Yes.
Yeah.
She has the claws.
Yeah.
So I think I might want to do that because you might have to scratch some of them.
Have you worn your hair long?
I have. I look super plain.
Super plain.
I'll show you pictures later.
Super plain.
Super plain. There was no pizzazz about
Yeah,
that.
I like a little.
Yeah, I just want to shock them. Walk in the door and be like,
Hello.
that girl. Yes, me.
Hello.
That girl. Mm-hmm.
Even when my hair is dark, like when I first get it cut, I still am not in my zone. So that like 1 to
Bleach
2
me.
day
Mhm.
transition
Bleach
is
me.
bad. So I have to have a hat on. I feel like G.I. Jane. I feel like it's a bad transition because then some of the colors in it. So I don't know. I'm turning half gray. I don't know what's going on with my natural hair color situation, but that transition time, and I'll literally be like, because my hair is. Well, yeah, I'll have to put a hat on. I look like Rhythm Nation with it.
Why are you so funny? I need you to tell the people.
Okay, fine.
Where they can find you.
Okay, so you can find me.
Hey.
Okay, you can find me on. So I am at Mamapreneur. MAMAPRENEUR. So that's my Instagram.
We should have the essence be.
Yes.
That.
Yes.
I'm gonna figure that out.
A-P-R.
It don't matter. The D.
Oh, no, slow it down. Okay, so we're gonna work on that. So I am at Mamapreneur. I love the fact that I am Mamapreneur. So
yes.
everyone else is Mamapreneur DC or Mamapreneur New York or Mamapreneur whatever, and I'm the first one. So someone's gonna have to buy that name for me one day. And
oh my goodness, you're Kris Jennering the girls.
Yes! So yes, that and my blog is I Now Pronounce You Divorced blog.wordpress.com. So book is coming out in September. So
I am so
she's
excited.
turning into a book and I'm so excited about it. I literally just left working on that today.
Okay.
And came here.
So that means I think September might run into season 2, so we're gonna have to have you on maybe during your book launch.
Yes, it's gonna be super dope.
I'm
I
excited.
cannot wait for the release.
I love the bits.
It's going down. I have a chef already.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. I'm so
Okay.
excited.
Great
Yes.
transition.
Yes.
Chef Jeremy.
Yes. I love Chef. She's amazing.
Yeah, so chef. But me, I might let Tania color my hair instead of putting the foil on it. Might let her
get it together. Yes. So we're gonna do this again. It's gonna be Stylentea at your book launch.
Wait.
And then we can talk all things.
It's so much fun.
Yes. Books and things.
It's gonna be great, and the book is turning into like it's gonna be a whole Netflix Lena Waithe moment. So. Yes, I believe in affirmations,
I'm here for
and
all of
that's
this.
gonna happen. So.
I'm here for all of this.
Yeah,
and I'm excited. Thank you so much for
you
coming.
can definitely do a flashback Thursday moment. Like, remember when she was?
I will. Y'all know I will.
And I'll be right there, like somewhere with a black and white suit on.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me. So much fun.
Bye, guys.